What's up, everybody? Can you hear me okay? Welcome to Westside Otaku Live. It has been a hot minute. We haven't done one of these in quite some time, but I hope you are having, I hope you have a lovely New Year's Eve and lovely New Year's in general, 2023. I can't believe that we're actually here. And I hope you had a nice 2022 and you accomplished some things, as today, gonna go over some things that I didn't really do any videos on, like, oh, you didn't react to the last couple episodes of Bleach. How come you didn't do that? Dude, you're super into My Hero Academia. Why haven't you talked about season 6? Hey, weren't you interested in like Mob Psycho, Urusei, and a bunch of other things? You never did any video on Spy X Family. And what were your anime? What was your anime of the year? Who's best girl of the year? This is an opportunity to get it all out there for those that are interested. So that's what we're doing today. Westside Otaku stream. We'll see how long we go. But thank you very much for swinging by. I do see Lolito with the in the chat, and just some guy with a mustache. That freaking name. What's up? We hear you. Perfect, man. Thank you very much. Steffi is here. Hello, madame. Lovely patron there. Plug into Patreon if you want to support content and get extra content like some podcast reviews, full reactions and stuff. Head over to Patreon. That's in the description. Actually, do I have a little graphic here? Yes, I do. There you go. But it's in the description if you want more content and support more stuff and things, or request things. But yes, first off, for those that are here live, and if you watch this as a post show, I'm going to put in some time codes so you can skip around to the things that are most important to you. Might also even port a bit or two of this out as a video. I was considering that too. But how y'all doing? What you been watching as the live stream part first? Let's check in with the listeners. What's everybody watching as of right now? Because I'll tell you what, I've been watching My Hero Academia season 6, and I've only just been watching it. It's freaking phenomenal. Like, I legit, every single episode I watch, every single one, I put it on Twitter. I'm like, dude, every one. Shit getting crazy. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to just say Sibia is here in the chat. Bleach has been peak this season. Let's put on the chat. Bleach has been peak this season. In fact, it feels like I'm watching another show. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But 100% like Bleach hit it. Bleach hit it this year. It did. Alan Burrito, Bleach, Mob Psycho, Chainsaw Man, Blue Lock. Alan, I would love to hear your thoughts about Blue Lock. So we're eventually going to get to my anime of the year here. I have like, I spent a while to put some visuals on screen, as we'll have like best girls on screen. I can't believe we're gonna have best girl and animes of the year for sure in this show, but I also wanted to hit potential other things that I haven't done content on that folks might be curious about. But I see Hannah just got in. Hello, madame. That's another lovely patron right there. Thank you very much for being here, Hannah. I was just curious what everybody's been watching. But yeah, Blue Lock. Alan Brito brings up Blue Lock in the chat. I have been very curious to watch that show, and because I love the premise. The freaking premise of it. Just, you know, no, we're not fighting for friendship. No, you don't do teamwork. No, none of that anime bullshit in here. It's every man for himself. What? It's such a, like, I love when things just try to be different, you know? But like, in a way that's like, whoa, you're actually putting this upside down. It's just about being the best. Yeah, like, just being the best by any means necessary. It's a soccer show, if you haven't heard of it. Soccer show. It did come up in one of my my video building up October this year. Say farewell to your social life. But Steffi's been watching Bleach mostly. Now finishing Made in Abyss Season 2. Great. Glad you're finishing it. And Spy X Family. Yeah, Spy X Family. I watched the last episode of Spy X Family Season 1 last night, and I'm going to miss watching that show weekly. I have to say that. I am gonna miss watching that show weekly. A few more chat messages, and then we'll dive into some things. Just some guy with a mustache. My top 5 anime in 2022 so far: Attack on Titan, Bleach, Blue Lock, Mukazoko Tensei Season 2, and Kaguya Season 3. But yeah, Attack on Titan is still my anime of the year. The storytelling is out of this world. Yeah, those are some great anime. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for swinging by for the live stream. If you watch the replay of this, I'm gonna try to put in time codes so you could skip around to the things that mean most to you. I'm just spending the first few minutes greeting the chat here. So I've seen a lot of Blue Lock clips, haven't seen it, but really cute. Same Steph. And the dub, dude, this year in terms of anime dubs, they're just getting better and better, man. Like dubs, like I listened, okay, it might have been nostalgia taking me over, but I watched Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War in the subs, you know, because newest episodes are subs. Dub is like 3 or 4 episodes behind. But I listened to a clip today, like a couple clips, and I'm like, God damn. Johnny Yager, I forget his name, the guy that's Ichigo and Lelouch and a bunch of other characters. I'm like, dude, he's going so hard in this. Dude, I mean, I disagree, Alan. I think the dub's like, I was like, dude, I'm kind of tempted to switch. Holy shit. Hannah, I'll be honest, I feel like I haven't been watching much anime these past few months. Yeah, Hannah, I'm only aware of like 1 or 2, I feel like. Steffi and Hannah are patrons, and we have like our Discord over there. And it's cool because I get to kind of see like what other people are watching and doing. And yeah, it's cool to be able to, I get extra like thoughts in there for, you know, I don't always do videos here. I mostly just do a video if it's something I really want to put out there, kind of a thing. Where is it? 4 Stone. Hello, 4 Stone. My Hero, Blue Lock, One Piece. Wait, are these animes you're watching, or are they your like animes of the year? One Piece, let me just say, One Piece popped off this year. I mean, I think it's also because they had the 1,000th episode. Was this year? No, that was last year. Sorry. But One Piece popped off hard this year. Like, and I was considering my animes of the year, and I'm just like, I can't put One Piece in here, can I? Because One Piece is just ever going. But dude, if there was like an animation award, Toei Animation, they did some good work this year. Steffi, how could I have missed To Your Eternity 2? I gotta finish that. Yeah, I haven't gotten to Your Eternity 2. But I don't know. To Your Eternity Season 1, I really liked it, but it definitely required the emotions to flow. All right, we 10 minutes in now. I'm going to see if I can both record the stream and stream it. First thing I wanted to bring up really quick is My Hero Academia. Before we get to anime of the year, before we get to best girl, I want to say something really quick about My Hero Academia. Who here in the chat has been watching season 6? Because I have to tell you, if I was watching season 6 weekly, I think it might have been like the most I have to watch this now anime I have seen of the entire year. That's not spoiling anything for anime of the year, but I'm just saying I've been watching it and I'm like, dude, every episode is so well earned. And that's the thing. Avengers, yeah. My Hero Academia season 6 is only working so well because of the previous seasons. To me, My Hero Academia started off fantastically, and then eventually it kind of became good. It started to become like another shonen to me. But dude, it's because they did so much build-up to this point, and all this build-up has led to this season, this Avengers Endgame moment where all the Avengers are uniting against Thanos, whatever. That's what this season is. And I don't know how they continue it from here. And they're even bringing in other characters we only got glimpses of that are now getting big highlights, like the bunny girl person, Mirko, or whatever. My Hero Academia season 6 has been popping, dude. Her bit going against all the Nomus. I try to just, I guess it shouldn't be too specific here in case you haven't seen it, but yeah, there's a bit that Bunny Girl goes against a lot of Nomus, so that's all I'll say about that. Shigaraki in season 5 had some seriously great development, and now we're seeing him in this season be a full-blown villain, man. Even like emotional deaths. There was an emotional death for a character that I'm like, dude, I'm not supposed to care about you, but I do, kind of a thing. And the people that care about you. And the best part is that the entire time, the reason every episode, every one is so exciting and nerve-wracking is the characters that you've like grown close to these past 5 seasons. Nobody feels safe. I don't think there has ever been a large-scale battle like this happening in a shonen or an anime period that I have felt this on the edge of my seat watching since Attack on Titan Season 3. That was the last time. Attack on Titan Season 3, where they all, again, I don't want to spoil things, but, you know, they return to a very nostalgic place, that's all I'll say, and they go against other Titan situations, you know? That was the last time a fight has put me on the edge of my seat in terms of like having a lot of people involved. I'm not talking about one-on-one. I'm talking about like the cast being involved. That was the last time. In My Hero Academia season 6, it be popping. It honestly be popping. I'm seeing just some guy with a mustache. My Hero Academia season 6 has been peak. Apparently, the only hate on it is the animation quality is not as high as the previous seasons, but it's still peak in my opinion. And that's the thing. Like, I would agree with that assessment. Yeah, there's been a lot of, it's been more consistent. It's been much more consistent than other seasons. And it hasn't had all those pop-off moments in terms of animation quality. But I don't care. I was just telling my chat the other day, like when I was on Twitch, plugging to Twitch every Monday and Thursday, I was like, just because you point out something is visually not as good, that doesn't mean the rest of it's bad. And everybody points out, you know, how could you point out something that isn't like as good as it was before? How could you think it's all shit because of that? I'm like, nope. Never said that. My Hero Academia season 6 is still freaking awesome, dude. I am loving it. And I wish, I don't know, man. It's great. It's great. It's gonna, I'm gonna say it's gonna come up again later on in this stream. All right. Sorry, I'm just multitasking. Yeah, Alan Burrito's nominees for Anime of the Year is Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Bleach. Gotcha. Well, Demon Slayer didn't come out this year, right? Yeah, that was last year. Maybe it was one of those things that like it ended in January or something. No. Maybe. 4-Stone JoJo's Stone Ocean has been pretty good. Yes. We got new JoJo. That is true. Sabia, My Hero Academia had a lot of hate this season because of the seconded. This is probably because of the shows it was airing side by side with. People expected a lot of Sakuga. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm willing to bet you guys are saying hate, but in reality, it's like people. Well, actually, that's not true. There probably is some actual hate, but I was gonna say like maybe it's just some people saying like, oh, I wish they kind of popped off more with this season, and because some people wished for more, that translates to hate. Not true. That does not mean the same thing as hate. All right. Hannah, didn't Comey Season 2 come out at the beginning of this year? You are correct, Hannah. You are correct. Comey Season 2 came out this year. And who here watched Comey Season 2? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that anime is the coziest and most heartfelt shit I have seen in a long time. There's something about it. There's something about the way it's executed. Oh my God, the voice actors, man. The voice actors are so good. There was a season 1. Oh yes, that was last year. Towards the end of last year, actually. Excuse me. I'm trying to get this thingy. I'm trying to keep it short, but I don't know. This thing's weird. Anyways, hello? Okay. I did it. I did. It was chicken soup for the soul. Yeah, Hannah. Hannah, you better have Miss Person in our Discord that has the profile pic of Comey. Well, had the profile pic of Comey for a while. Ants haven't finished the second season. Have been mainly reading the manga though. Gotcha. Sibia, your thoughts on summertime rendering if you watched it? Sibia, I've never even heard of it. Apologize, man. No, I've never heard of it. I looked up some anime before the stream, and I don't even remember coming across that title. But then again, maybe just because I hadn't heard of it and I brushed by it. Just some guy with mustache. Fun fact, the best anime currently in the world is Attack on Titan, but currently in Japan, it's My Hero Academia and Bleach. So yeah, My Hero Academia is still technically peak. There's only going to be best to what is us. Like, okay. Speaking of reflecting on 2022, before we're going to dive into the main topic here, and I'm going to let you guys decide. In fact, I should put a poll on. Yeah, I'm going to put a poll on. Well, let me get this out first. But yeah, speaking of reflecting on 2022, there was a point this year, and I think it's still held on my anime list. Kaguya Love is War Season 3 was like neck and neck with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for the best anime of all time on MAL, on my anime list. There is no place that is the definitive correct list or anything. And I see these like weekly rankings of anime thing, the top 10 animes or whatever, and they bounce back and forth. And, that's all interesting. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of, I don't know. I like to look at that stuff, but at the same time, I don't think I'm serious enough about anime to care too much. But, that was just crazy. That a freaking rom-com was closing in on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Get out of here, dude. Not like in a bad way, get out of here, but like get out of here, that's crazy kind of a thing. All right. Steffi, I have not watched Comey, but loved the last season of Kaguya Love is War this year. Yeah. It was an awesome season. I am noob dog. I am so behind on anime. I'm still in the summer season. Hey, that's fine. Just go at your pace. I did a video about that. Just enjoy anime at your own pace. Shout out to 9 people in the chat. Thank you guys very much for watching. Okay. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Also, Fox just got here. Fox, what have you been watching, man? That's another lovely patron. Long time. He's like godfather patron and supporter of this community. Doing first. I'm gonna ask the chat. Anime of the year. Best girl count. 2022. We're gonna do one of these two things. Whoops. Get rid of this thing. There we go. We're gonna do both of these, but which one are we doing first? I have presentations ready. We can talk about anime of the year. We're gonna do best girl of 2022. And I just for funsies, like I just wanted to bring up the best girl because to me that's like the most timeless anime debate in terms of the community. Everybody can debate about whatever of the year in every community, but I feel like something the anime community has only to us is the best girl debates. Like I feel like that is something only the anime community has. I've never seen that in the comic book community or the gaming community or movies, like, Just some guy with a mustache. Even though Kaguya Season 3 was still a masterpiece this year, I still think Fruits Basket is the best rom-com anime ever. I have to think about rom-com. This year, I rewatched Kimi ni Todoke. Please watch Kimi ni Todoke. That anime is so goddamn just cute. I'm not going to say good. It's just so goddamn cute. Hannah knows what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure Steffi knows what I'm talking about. Kimi ni Todoke, man. I don't think it's the best rom-com of all time. I still think that's potentially Toradora, but Fruits Basket's up there. And it's only because I don't consider Fruits Basket a rom-com. I consider Fruits Basket a drama. Like, much more than a rom-com, I consider Fruits Basket a drama. And that's why. You know, I like Fruits Basket more than those other things, but it's for different reasons. Fox just having time for Netflix stuff. So Cyberpunk, Lookism, and Romance Killer. Cyberpunk. Can I get some of you guys to reflect with me on Cyberpunk? What did you think of that? Did anybody watch Cyberpunk Edgerunners in the chat? Hannah, people will go to war for their waifus and their husbandos. They will. They absolutely will. I don't think in a serious way, though. People get way more serious about... It's more like... The waifu wars is much more of a, like... of, like, a passionately for fun debate that people will, at the end of the day, not take to heart. But when people consider, like, quality of an actual thing, that's when they get, like... It gets too serious sometimes. Console wars, man. Yeah, Fox Door for the win. Kimi ni Todoke is just pure diabetes, Hannah said. Cyberpunk is on my watch list, Hannah says. Chive, Cyberpunk is one of Trigger's best works. I'm gonna be bold here. I think Cyberpunk Edgerunners on Netflix is the best work that Studio Trigger has done. And I say that as somebody that is not into Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger is not my jam. Everything I've watched from them, I've enjoyed. It's fine, but I don't like sit there and think about it, or like it never makes like my favorites that I've watched kind of a thing. Trigger's just a studio I respect. They never make it into my favorites. But as somebody that's not a Trigger fan, I'll tell you what, Edgerunners was quality. And it was the best that the studio ever did. Very specifically that studio, because it allowed them to do some things that they've never done before. And if anybody can nail a punk-ass anime, it's Trigger. Trigger knows how to nail that punk-ass aesthetic. Mustache Cyberpunk Edrun was a masterpiece. The ending is one of the best I've seen in a story, but I won't call it anime of the year. Got it. Fox Cyberpunks was good. It got me into the game too. That happened for a lot of folks. I saw a lot of folks like mainstream wise I saw, but even I'm just talking like my own friend groups. It actually transitioned them to play Cyberpunk, which is cool. But all right, let's hit one of these topics. You guys wanted to hit anime of the year first. All right. Get some friends in here. Get some friends in here. Bring them in, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to do what was Westside Otaku's animes of the year. Appreciate you being here, Mr. Mustache, Mr. Chives. By the way, Chives, that's a long time name. Hello, Fox, Hannah, Steffi. I remember earlier. Who was it? Lolito. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Sabia, sorry. Thank you guys for being here. It's been 2022. We've already been kind of reflecting on anime this year and how it's been. But I was thinking about the anime that I watched this year. And I'm going to have to get OBS Studio kind of ready here. Let me see. If I can be ready for this. Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are my anime of the year. And I have not watched a lot of anime this year, but I have watched a good handful or two. They are, and you know, this is not, and I did do my best to rank them. And I do see Fox in the chat. I'm getting my pitchfork ready. I did do my best to rank them, but obviously, I'm just going to mention 8. I'm just going to mention 8. So I left out a lot of anime from this like top 10. It's more like a top 8 because I just wanted to include the anime that to me really resonated and really like they left something traceable in me that I'm like, it wasn't, I just watched it kind of a thing. So that's what we're going to do. So let's start with number 8. What was number 8? If I can pull this up. Okay. Number 8, ladies and gentlemen, was My Dress Up Darling. I loved My Dress Up Darling. It was something truly special to me. And I have a video about why it meant a lot to me. Because it literally embodies what I am about. You know, I am all about be geek, be proud, be awesome. And this is a story of this guy, Gojo, who loves, you know, dress up Hina dolls or whatever. And that's just weird. You know, that seems weird to people for a guy to be into that. But then there's this girl that comes along that's super popular, super hot and all this stuff. But she's into nerdy shit. You know, she's into stuff that, you know, might not be stereotypical that people would think of her too. And it's so cool to see a character like that. She as a character is great. Gojo as a character is great. And it just is a really great story of how to be you. And I think that's why it stuck with me. It's not because of the gorgeous animation by Cloverworks. It's not from potentially hottest girl of the year. It's because of the story and like the moral that you take home from it. So that's definitely, that's one of the 8 anime that stuck out to me this year. But number 7, Made in Abyss Season 2. Made in Abyss Season 2 is the anime none of you freaking watched, except for Steffi, I think. Let me know in the chat if you did see it. But I wish more people watched this anime because there's so many people that were really into it. That were really into Season 1 when it came out. And it's a crime to me that Season 2 got so under-talked. I'm just now seeing the chat react to Hannah. I forgot the Dress Up Darling came out this year. Yeah. But yeah. Made in Abyss Season 2, I feel like quality-wise, this is easily in my like top 3 or 4 this year, quality-wise. This is just personal taste. This is not me saying what was the best. This is me saying what stuck with me on a personal level. So keep that in mind. And while Made in Abyss Season 2, quality-wise, is fantastic, not quite as good as the first season, but that's not saying much. Because the first season is, like, masterpiece level. I gave that anime, like, a 10 out of 10 when I watched it. An A+, which I rarely give an anime. So it's not saying much for you to say it's not as good as that, because that's a high bar to follow. But it's still in that A tier to me. It's still got the tiers kind of working. It has some gorgeous ass animation, some neat plot developments, and just really one emotional story. And I am very sad to find out that we will probably not get Season 3 for a really long time. Number 6, though. And yes, I see Chives. The OST for Made in Abyss is the OST is so good. It's so good. I listen to it while I work so much. But number 6 is something I really, I thought it might have been higher in the list, but it's still in my 8 like favorites of the year. Don't think just because it's not above things, that doesn't mean it's not a favorite. Spy X Family. Spy X Family was so good. And I just watched the last episode before doing this stream. And I'll tell you why it was fantastic. I was just talking with my friend about this last night. It's the characters. And not how well the characters are written, but literally them being in the same plot. Having a dog that can see the future, that a girl can read minds. Having a wife that you are a spy and her brother is part of like a secret agency. It's these dynamics. You going to the same school, it's how everything kind of just lines up, and having not only like interesting characters, but having them in the same story with each other. That's what makes it so fantastic, and that's what makes it comedy gold. I think the reason this didn't stick with me so hard this year as I was hoping it would, is because at the end of the day, this is just a comedy gold, and comedies don't usually stick with me. But that's what this is. It's comedy gold because of the combination of everything. And as Anya would say, wak wak, it's exciting. And Cloverworks and Wit do a fantastic job with it. And I'm going to give season 2, or it's not season 2, sorry, part 2 of season 2 an award. I never skipped the opening or closing. The opening for part 2 of season 1, they had no right to make that shit as visually gorgeous as they did. They had no right. It's absolutely crazy. I see Hannah saying Spike's Family was so much fun. That's what it is. It was just fun. Anya's funniest anime child. Yeah, absolutely. It's just a fun show. That's the thing. It's not gonna like, and it has emotional moments. But the last comment I want to say about it is that it will leave. The surprise thing I didn't expect about it is that it is about being a family. And I'm not saying in a cheesy way. I'm saying like literally for this plot to succeed, Anya the child has to succeed. A lot of it's reliant on her. And at the end of the day, what's more important to parents than their kids succeeding? That was something I didn't really think about before I got into Spike's Family. Number 5. It's going to shock a lot of people that this is not the top 3. Kaguya Love is War. Kaguya Love is War. I feel bad. I feel bad for this not being in like my top 3. Season 3 was absolutely phenomenal. It was. And I still say, to me, earlier in this stream, somebody said, you know, they believe that Fruits Basket is the best rom-com ever. I disagree. I vastly disagree. I think Kaguya Love is War is the best rom-com ever. No question. Because it is the definition of what a rom-com is. And season 3, we finally got to hit those rom-com elements hard. And it got to like the top of Mal's list for a reason. I'm seriously going to argue with people. I think in terms of romantic comedy, nothing beats Kaguya Love is War because it is the definition of well-written romantic comedy. And this season particularly, we got to see those romantic elements finally start to, you know, reach their potential conclusion, if you will. And we got a lot of good character growth yet again. And a certain person or two that you're going to see come up later on in this list, a great sibling relationship between Kaguya, the main girl of the show, with her, I don't know what you would call her, not mistress, but the everybody's best girl, Hayasaka. You know, we got to see some great sibling relationships between her, the two of them. More development with certain other characters. But at the end of the day, the reason why this didn't make it into my like top 3, which a lot of people is going to put in their top 3, is because the back half is the conclusion, you know, and the magic of the show is like it's the first rom-com you almost never want to see the confession because you want the antics to keep going. But we got that in the back half of this season, and it's like, man, I get why this is all continuous, but I'm sad that we're gonna finally get there, kind of a thing. So, Kaguya Love is War season 3 was my number 5, but my number 4. We were just talking about it. My Hero Academia. And I'm not even through it, dude. This is the one on this list that I'm a little bit like, can I even put it on here? Because like I haven't watched it all yet as I record this. But I have to tell you, it's that good. It's that good. I'm only like 6 episodes or something like that into it, I think. But every episode, when it ends, I message my buddy DJ and I'm just like, dude. Every single episode is crazy. And I'm sorry, I'm just like kind of looking at the chat now. It's very refreshing combo characters. Yes, for Spike's family. And then Kaguya, better romantic comedy. Fruits Basket, better romantic drama. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that, Chives. And yeah, Steffi, Kaguya's high tier comedy. Yes, all around. But My Hero Academia Season 6 is literally the Avengers Endgame. And it's funny, I see people saying like, this is peak My Hero Academia. This is the best season of My Hero Academia. And I 100% get why people say that. But I think it's only as great as it is because you have viewed everything prior. If I did a video about My Hero Academia Season 6, it's payoff. That's what it would be titled. It's payoff. The rivalry, bully, whatever relationship that Bakugo and Midoriya have, payoff. The students learning how to become heroes, payoff. Shigaraki figuring out like how is he going to change this society that he hates, payoff. Endeavor being a good father and a good hero at the same time, payoff. Payoff, payoff, payoff everywhere. And because all this stuff is happening, as I was saying earlier, nobody feels safe. This season has just been a constant feel of nobody is safe, and I have not felt like that since Attack on Titan Season 3, where they went back to the beginning. That's all I'll say on that, to stay vague there. But My Hero Academia Season 6 is it's been 3 years, I think, maybe 2, since that Attack on Titan battle happened. Yeah. It's awesome. It's so freaking awesome, left and right. But we're at the top 3. And I see Chives going, so much chaos in My Hero Academia Season 6. Yeah. I cannot believe what number 3 is. You guys want to take a crack at what number 3 is? Number 3 is Komi-san Can't Communicate Season 2. I can't believe it. I can't believe over Kaguya Love is War, over My Hero Academia, over My Dress Up Darling, I would say Komi. Now, this list isn't definitive. But the reason, again, because this is not a best list. I'll tell you at the end what I personally think were the best animes that I've seen this year. These are favorites. These are things that like meant a lot to me and they stuck around in me. And Komi-san Season 2, Komi-san Can't Communicate Season 2 was so heartwarming, was so funny, was so well animated, had fantastic characters, and the voice acting. If I give an award for voice acting, it goes to Kaguya and it goes to Komi. Like those 2 seasons this year. They were the best voice acting of the year, 100%. Najimi especially did, man. Whoever voices Najimi is comedic gold. But there were so many memorable moments of Komi, and I think the reason I loved Komi is that it was just a nice, as I saw Hannah in our chat earlier say, it's chicken noodle soup for the soul. And every episode, I felt like I was sipping down some warm hot cocoa, some warm soup or something, and it just made me feel good. Sometimes it would put me in pain, but that pain would be replaced with something just good being put in my heart. That's why it's number 3. It's not because I found it better than everything else. I am saying it's because it just meant a lot to me. In a year that I was a little bit lost myself. I was going through some shit this year, and I really thanked Komi for giving me some nice feels. So, yeah. And I like and what she's doing too, and as a character, what she's doing. She's trying to do what a lot of us, I'm sure a lot of us can relate as, people that are into anime or games, whatever. A lot of us are typically introverted, not all of us. But she is heavily introverted. She is heavily shy. She can barely even speak. And so that's motivation too, that she's trying to become better. So that's that. And I see Hannah saying, I love a series so much. 4 Stone, wow. Tadano and Komi need to get together already. Oh yeah, even people this season are like, they need to get together already. Except for Yamai. Dude, even Yamai. Like, Yamai is just comedically sometimes nice. But we're at number 2, ladies and gentlemen. My runner-up for favorite anime this year. Here's that thumbnail. Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War is not my anime of the year. Which might shock some folks, because you all know, or at least longtime people know, Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War, the final arc of what was the anime that gatewayed me into anime. This was one of my most anticipated things ever. Like, ever. Of anything. Like, it's up there in the Kingdom Hearts 3 area. I needed this to be a thing. Alongside Ouran High School Host Club Season 2. Hashtag bring back Ouran. I was stoked for this anime. And it's number 2, which is like, you know, that's praise. I'm giving it praise. And people are still going to say, like, how dare you not say it's number 1? Why would you hate the show? Bullshit. It's number 2. But I do admit, there were times I wanted to push it up to number 4 or number 5. Because everything other than my number 1, I pretty much loved all of them nearly equally. But Bleach, I see, yeah, just some guy with a mustache. Studio Period best anime adaptation yet. And 4 Stone really unexpected. Hannah, that's a little bit surprising. And here's why it's not number 1. And especially on a personal level. For the anime that gatewayed me into anime, and is literally one of my all-time favorites. The only reason this isn't number 1 is even though the animation is fantastic, even though the characters are gorgeous, even though the fight sequences are stunning, even though this is finally the first time I have ever seen any of the OG Big 3, Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece, get the respect that they deserve from their animation studios in terms of pacing and everything, it moved way too fucking fast. That's a bold statement, I know, and this is just a me list. I'm not saying that I am correct or anything. It moved way too fast. Not way too fast, but like noticeably fast. And as somebody that did read the manga, maybe that affected me. You know, I think anime original people maybe like, this was fantastic. Like if you were an anime original, I think this is easily maybe number 1. And it even like became in the top 5 on Mal too, alongside Kage and Fullmetal Alchemist and stuff. But as somebody that did read the manga, I'm going to tell you, man, the pacing of this, they are hitting it fantastically. I much prefer it over the original show, absolutely. But man, they skip some comedic things that were in the manga. There isn't as much time to grip certain things because of how fast it moves. And this is just a nitpick. To me, it's not a legit con, but just sometimes it feels like I can't really settle on what just happened. It's the exact opposite of what Komi is. Komi, every week, I could just take it in and like digest it. But Bleach, it's so intense and fast that I'm like, I need to watch that again to like really grasp it. But nonetheless, it is still the best treatment Bleach has ever had. And Studio Period, this is like maybe the finest work that they have ever done. And I see on Mal, I think it's still number 1 right now. Maybe, I don't know. I personally hope nothing tops Full Alchemist Brotherhood. But and yeah, they're getting a break. TX Candy says exactly. They're getting a break. Was it Rukio's Peach? Yeah, Rukio's Peach not being animated is the reason why this isn't number 1. But if my favorite anime of all time finally getting adapted its final arc, one of my most anticipated things of all time, wasn't number 1, and it's to like the best work I've ever seen out of Studio Period, if that wasn't number 1, what is? You know exactly what number 1 is. Tatakai. Attack on Titan kicked off a fantastic year of anime. There's so many great anime that came out this year. But Attack on Titan's final season, part 2, It's what I said about My Hero Academia. I said My Hero Academia every episode. Every episode, I'm at the edge of my seat, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then I mentioned, you know, Bleach. Bleach in terms of animation, I don't think anything topped that this year. But Attack on Titan Season 2, or sorry, Part 2 of the final season, just was constantly engaging. Even the slow episodes, even the episodes where everything slowed down so you could just, you know, grip what the characters are going through. That's why they did it. That's why they did it. And yes, I'm going to say this, you know, people, and look at this. It's number one. It's number one on my list. And I still say, man, I miss the work that Wit Studio did on this show. And sometimes I wish Mappa didn't get it. I'm saying that, and it's still my number one, because you can still criticize things you love. That's fine. And there is things that don't make the final season perfect. But part 2 of this final season, it had that battle that My Hero Academia had. It had those characters that I mentioned from Dress Up Darling or Komi. It had the action. It had everything. And the twists and plots that just make me go, literally, I am witnessing one of the best anime of all time. Not in my opinion. I'm going to be bold and say objectively, I am witnessing one of the best anime of all time. Absolutely. It's not my style. I never thought I would be into Attack on Titan. But it was specifically the 3rd season that turned everything around. And ever since this final season kicked off, yes, the CGI I don't care for too much, but I've gotten used to it because at the end of the day, the plot and characters overcome anything else. As long as everything else, you know, isn't shitty. It's a modern classic. I 100% agree with that statement. Attack on Titan is the first anime we have gotten in years that is finally a modern classic. And those are my animes of the year. So to recap that again, my number 8, and I really enjoy, and I really love all these. And there's other anime I've watched that I didn't shout out, but just my 8 favorites this year was My Dress Up Darling. Whoops, trying to, where is that? There we go. My Dress Up Darling, Made in Abyss Season 2, Spy X Family, Kaguya Love is War Season 3, My Hero Academia Season 6, Komi-san Can't Communicate Season 2, Bleach, The 1,000-Year Blood War, and Attack on Titan's final season, Part 2. And those are my animes of the year. Now, there's a lot of anime. Whoops. Sorry, I need to get out of studio mode here. There was a lot of anime that I didn't mention. You know, like where was Cyberpunk? Where was and I have like a list of other anime I watched. I watched if Mads was here, My Dress Up, or Master Teaser Takagi-san Season 3. I enjoyed it, but I just didn't feel like I would want to put that even like in a top 10 list. I enjoyed it though. It was really good, in my opinion. Best season of the show. What was it? Call of the Night. Call of the Night, this vampire show that has, I don't know, it's kind of a neat premise and freaking fantastic insert songs. And Urusei Yatsura, I find as a fantastic Saturday morning cartoon, but again, just didn't stick with me. And Cyberpunk Edgerunners, I respect it immensely, but just isn't an anime of the year for me. But what was yours? Feel free to let me know. Okay, so that was that. Let me tune into the chat for a second. Steffi, I didn't just shed a tear. Wait a minute. Per episode. I missed, oh, Komi. You were talking about Komi earlier, Steffi. Gotcha. I'm kind of like looking at the chat now. Bleach. Sorry. You were talking about Bleach earlier, Steph. My bad. Dude, I'm going to tell you what, though. Bleach had the moment that, like, was the most hype moment of the year for me. And that was that first episode's ED. Luckily, that is on YouTube. That first ED that went off on the first episode. Oh, my God. I was I was like, oh no. And yeah, I see Shibuya earlier saying, yeah, the lack of comedy made Bleach much more dark, and I loved it. Yeah, like absolutely, like that's totally justified. The thing is that the comedy that's in the manga, it's not as misplaced when you go through the rest of the story. There's especially a bit at the beginning of the arc, but like, I like how they're doing it. I 100% like it. It's just moving fast. That's my main. And even if they got rid of the pacing, even if they did the pacing problem, that wouldn't change Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan, to me, there's just no passing what Part 2 did. Like, literally, my favorite episode of the year is titled Brothers from Attack on Titan. Or Two Brothers. I think that's what it's called. That episode, for some reason, it's not as high as others on IMDb. But to me, Brothers is like one of the best anime episodes I have ever seen. Just some guy with a mustache. Eren Yeager's my favorite protagonist. He is very well written. Chives, each episode Attack on Titan's final season was mind blown, dude. Goddamn paradoxes, man. Goddamn paradoxes. 4 Stone, I'm literally rewatching Attack on Titan. But do not tune away, because we have a best girl. Who is best girl of 2022? A lot of people dipped out, unfortunately. The second I finished the list, a lot of people dipped out. See? That's why I should have saved it for the end of the stream. You guys screwed me. We shouldn't have done it early. We should have closed the stream with it. What have I done? But each episode is still peak. Attack is a modern classic. I'm still missing a lot of old OSTs. You know, and that's one other thing about Bleach, just to talk about Bleach for a moment. I miss a lot of the old music, man. Like, I hear the new renditions, and they're fine. They're good. I feel a little bit like a scumbag to say I wish they just ported some of the old songs from Bleach into the show. I kind of wish they did that, but I get why they didn't. But yeah, the music isn't hitting me. And something that I identified so much with Bleach was the music, man. The music was... It's one of my favorite anime soundtracks of all time. And I think that's why, unfortunately, it's like... Maybe I'm letting nostalgia berries take over too much, but man... Anyways. What do you think of Eren Yeager as a protagonist? Is he one of your favorites? Because in my opinion, I think he's the best. No, Eren Yeager's not a favorite protagonist of mine. Absolutely. Okay. He's not one of my favorites. But he is one of my most respected. Because he's very realistic. He is incredibly realistic as somebody just... that can only take so much betrayal and loss and that actually breaking a person kind of a thing. And experiencing the shit that he's seen kind of a thing. All right. Now we need to acknowledge something here because I see somebody bringing it up in the chat. So I'm going to pull up a little document here if I can make this go full screen here. Because I see somebody in the chat bringing up Mob Psycho season 3. I wish I watched it. But you can see on screen here, these are animes I did watch this year, which I just was kind of going over you guys. And look at that. I barely watched much. But I did watch some older stuff. I watched When Will Ayumu Make His Move? Kind of rom-com chess anime. I watched Snafu for the first time this year. Speaking of rom-coms. Fire Force Season 2, Don't Mess With Me. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I was very pleasantly surprised with how much I loved that. Demon Slayer Season 2. Today's Menu from the Emiya Family. To Your Eternity. I'm like, I think I watched that this year, but I found out I did. And I rewatched Kimi ni Todoke. But, yeah, I watched all these, but I didn't watch these. And I wish I did. There's a lot of other anime I didn't watch, but these are ones I really, was interested in, but especially Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho is especially the one that I'm like, man, I have a feeling if I watched that before the year was over, that probably would have been, a contender for my favorite anime of the year. But yeah, I did not watch these, and I wish I did. And I this Kaguya movie, I think, is literally just about to be in Japan or just came out or something. So obviously I wasn't able to watch that. But yeah, And don't sleep on Do It Yourself. I wanna watch that, but yeah. So I didn't watch everything, but just to kind of address that. We have some best girls to talk about though in a moment. And is it really the final season, Chives? Is it the final season? Because if it is, then god damn, dude, I don't know if I'm ready for it. Steffi, it's a good list of anime you watched this year. 2022 was a great year for this year for anime was. I'm actually thinking if it was like the best year. It was one of the best. Like in ever since I got into anime, I can't think of a year that was like Nami best. Yeah. And dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, in terms of animation, like absolutely Bleach popped off. Absolutely Studio Pierrot popped off with Bleach, especially that Yamamoto fight. Holy shit. But I'm telling you, man, Toei Animation, they went hard on some stuff this year. Absolutely, they went hard. This is why the most intense debate, best girl debate, needs to go first. Well, yes, it does. But I'm telling you, man, I have a graph. Like the second the anime of the year was finished, a lot of people dipped out. What's the most anticipated anime of 2023? Mine's Solo Leveling. Good question. I love to see that from the chat. I don't think I have one. Oh, I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. Wait a minute. You guys know. You know what's my most anticipated. There's no question. There's no question what my most anticipated is. Okay, let's put aside the two obvious ones. Aside from the two obvious ones, what's Keeb's? What's Westside Otaku's? What's Tony's? Like, what's his most anticipated anime of the year that isn't the obvious two? Feel free to state the obvious two, because I haven't seen anybody say it yet. Seeing Hannah, we do. Ants, Kodotuse, definitely most anticipated. Chives, for me, it's Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga, season 2. That is true. Yeah, just some guy with a mustache. Like, there's no question. I just said it was my favorite anime this year. So yeah, it's the actual finale for this Attack on Titan. Dude, I hope they land it. God, I hope they land it. Because as long as the ending is like... God, I hope the ending's at least just good. Even if it's not great, I hope it's at least good. Because if it's good, nothing's got to be good enough. That's the problem. With how high the bar they set, no ending's got to be good enough. And that's the really tragic part. But God, if it is, oh. If the ending is as good as the rest of the show, classic. Has to be a classic. And yeah, obviously the continuation of Bleach, but I actually don't know anything else that I'm like eagerly looking forward to, like especially like first season stuff. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But are we ready for that debate? It's not even really a debate. I'm just gonna share with you guys. Let's get from you before we do this, okay? Ladies, feel free, or homosexual, whatever. Like, you guys can feel free to say best husbando too. But let's do it. What's your favorite husbandos or waifus of the year? List them out in the chat, and then I'll put on mine. Favorite waifus and husbandos of the year. What do you got? Where does Najimi fit? Where does Najimi fit? I'm just getting ready here. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm good to go. All right. Just, I hope it's not a happy ending because I won't like it. A sad tragedy ending feels appropriate for time. I mean, I don't think it should just be absolute darkness. Like, it should have a good ending, but just with sacrifice. With freaking sacrifice, that's it. Hannah says Lloyd Forger. Absolutely. Fair enough. 100%. Any other husbandos or waifus we want to shout out before I put out mine? By the way, guys, thank you for tuning into the stream. Appreciate that. Hope you are having fun reflecting on anime this year. Going once. Going twice. I think we only got Hannah as the shout out. Void Forger. Okay. Okay, nobody. Come on. Oh, I need to get my buddy Michael in here. This is one of my favorite debates to have. Okay, oh wait, Steffi, you're Forger for me. Fave Waifu for me. So we're about to get into best waifus of the year. Or not best, I should say. It's just my personal... Wait a minute. Let me start this over. I'm actually going to try to record this bit because I don't know. Maybe this will be a video. But let's see. Okay. So we're about to jump into... not the best waifus of the year, but I'm still going to title it that. Who is best girl of 2022? That's what we're going to go into here. And these are just, to me, my favorite. There are people in the chat, you know, bringing up husbandos as well. Hannah saying Lloyd. Steffi saying Yor. Both from Swag's family, the Forgers. Chai, Misaki Kurosaki. That ain't bad. That's a good one. But... and a Maid War, that's another one, Ronco. I only checked out the first episode. I couldn't keep going. But in terms of my favorite waifus of the year, I feel like number 5, it's a little bit cheating. It's a little bit cheating for me to hit this number 5. But let me move this around. Number 5, Komi. I mean, she was in the favorite animes of the year. Like, what could I say? But, you know, and some might find this weird because, like, wait a minute, she was from last year. Are you just going to list, like, Nami from One Piece and Ruki? I don't know, man. I watched Komi in January. I first experienced her in January. That sounds really bad. I first experienced her. But I first experienced the Komi anime in January. I didn't watch it until after it was over. So I got introduced to her this year. And because of that, I freaking love her. She is... somebody that is really trying to better herself. And this scene especially, dude. If you watch season 2, you know this scene. When she does this scene, she takes care of the guy. When she takes care of him and just shows up and, you know, she's still her, like, just calm self. And then she just realizes what she's doing and she's like, dude, that was it. Like, if it wasn't for the 6th scene, I don't know. I don't know if she would be in here, but she's just adorable. And when she has this like blank expression on her, you know, she's just adorable. And you're trying to figure out like, what is she thinking? And she's always just this curious face. Like, I love this face, but I don't know. You're just rooting for her. You're just rooting for her to make the friends that she wants and to be able to be a bit more extroverted. And plus, everybody acknowledges it. She's an absolute, like physically, she is an absolute babe. Like, she is gorgeous. She is so cute in personality as well. She's like just the whole package, but she still needs to better herself because she can't really speak out. Number 4. Yor. Or wait, there we go. Yor. Yor Forger from Spy X Family. We have 2 black hairs back to back, but and there's your husbando of the year too. This is like, let's be honest, this is the husbando and the waifu of the year. Like this is the 2 of them. This is the combo. But yeah, Yor is one, we finally have somebody that is in high school, so that's one thing. But 2, like, look at her freaking face. The red eyes and the hair and the stuff that she always puts in her hair, and like she is so well dressed. And I don't know if I have any full body shots of her, but I love when she exposes her shoulders. She is dressed fantastically, man. And she's a killer, but she is dressed elegantly. But not only that, she is a fantastic mama. She doesn't know, she isn't an actual mom. She was, you know, she has basically she became a mom to this girl, but she is such a good mama. Other than, you know, she doesn't know how to cook. And that's pretty much it. There's maybe some other little things, but dude, I admit, like, this might be the most shallow pick, but Yor is just gorgeous. Like, And I do like how goofy she gets sometimes, too. She's very innocent. Even though she's a killer, that's the best part about her. She is a killer that is very innocent. She cares about her daughter. She cares about other people. She can get a little bit like, you know, she's very like, gomenasai kind of a thing. She's such a nice person, and yet she's a killer, which is such a weird contrast for a character. So, but at the end of the day, I admit, this is the most shallow pick because I find her gorgeous. Number 3. Do we finally get to bring up Urusei? Lum! Lum from Urusei Yatsura. The OG waifu ever. Freaking Lum is... I never watched this. I never watched the original work. I never saw anything after it. But I got introduced to her this year thanks to David Productions. Killing this animation, by the way. God, David Productions, I think the same people that did JoJo. God, they nailed this show so hard. But freaking Lum is the OG waifu for a reason. She is spicy, she's feisty, she is kind, she's the whole around package. She packs a shock, if you get it. And, you know, she looks great too. And you know, I'm a sucker for the pointy ears, the horns, and just her not necessarily being human, but she still looks human. That's the cool part. And just like this face too, man. I love this face of just, she's sus of her freaking honey all the time because she is married to the most, I'm going to hit on every chick in the freaking history of the world guy. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Lum's freaking adorable. And like, I love this episode where she dresses as like kind of just a normal human to be in disguise for her honey. And that's at the end of the day, the reason why. She is the actual waifu. She is the actual waifu of everybody on this list. Like, yeah, Yor would be the argument. But nah, she like, other than being very jealous, but the thing is, she's jealous for a good reason because she's with the most douchebag of a guy, unfortunately, in terms of being loyal. But he never really committed to this relationship. That's a whole other discussion. But at the end of the day, she will still do anything for her honey, stay loyal to him, and absolutely adore him. So she is literally the waifu of this list. But number 2, guess what? My best girl from Kage Love is War is not Hayasaka. It's goddamn Tsubame Koyasu, dude. Tsubame is so cute. And we only really met her this season. We got to see her a little bit last season, but this was the season we really got introduced to Tsubame. And one, I'm a sucker for pink hair. And the fact that her eyes are also pink, get the frick out of here. Get the frick out of here, you son of a bitch. That's not fair. But no, I love this girl. And the thing that's really cool about her is that she's the popular girl at school and everything, and she can kind of do a lot of things. She's like head of the ballerina club too. She's council president or whatever. But she is such a like, she's a normal person, and that's what I like about it. She doesn't have any weird quirks about her or anything like that, and she's not like overly perfect. Sometimes, yeah. But she still gets bashful. She's still like, she's oblivious to some things, and she's just normal, and that's what I love about it. And she's really kind too. Like freaking best boy of the show, like let's be honest. The two of them, like I know that there's more potentially going on, but I love that she's willing to give this like nothing dude a chance. And I say nothing dude as in like, you know, he's not popular or anything like that. He's not on her level, but that's just because she's a genuinely good person. And I love seeing like the popular girl is the popular girl because she treats everybody equally, because she is a good person. And as I said before, she's very attractive too. So and I see Chives going, Hayasaka or we riot, dude. I'm sorry, but Tsubame was awesome. We met her this season and I freaking loved her. But Top Girl's obvious. Y'all know what it is. There's no arguing it. We literally got introduced to one of the best girls of all time this year. Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling. There's no question. There's no debating this. There's no debating this. Maureen Kitagawa. And I know I see somebody in the chat going, Hayasaka we riot. And I just wanted to pick one character from each show, because otherwise I could just fill this up with, girls from just one show. But Kitagawa, again, I have a video about the show. But she, just like my top two have something in common. They're both popular girls. They're both super hot, and they're both, top of their status of the school. But they don't care, like they are fine talking with anybody else, and they, they are both, they have that in common. But what I love about Kitagawa is that she is so freaking passionate about what she's into, that she wants to cosplay it, and she's literally the embodiment of what my motto is: be geek, be proud, be awesome. And she's so into that. Like, she genuinely is happy seeing other people be happy about what they love. And that's something really cool. But let's be honest. She's also freaking banging too. I'm saying this as an anime person. Don't pull your pedophilia shit out, whatever. I'm just saying, it's just the anime conversation. She's absolutely hot. She's 100% like the hottest girl of the year, potentially. I mean, yours, fantastic too, but yeah, she's absolutely hot. But at the end of the day, this was it. I told you before, the Komi thing, when she fed the sick, when she took care of Tadano when he was sick, that solidified it. This was it. Look at that goddamn hair. Look at that goddamn hair. So, yeah. Those are my 5 waifus of the year. Number 1, Kitagawa. Number 2, Tsubame. From I guess I should say, yeah, Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling. Number 2, Tsubame from Kage Love is War. Number 3, Lam from Urusei Yatsura. Number 4, Your Forger from Spy X Family. And number 5, Shoko Komi from Komi-san Can't Communicate. Who's your waifus of the year? Yeah, those are my waifus. If anyone wants to know my taste, there you go. And notice I didn't pick girls just because they're hot. Like, dude, there's a lot of just because they're hotters in Urusei Yatsura. But at the end of the day, if you have something about you I really like, that's what's going to, like, pull you above the rest. Hannah, I love her. I'm a little surprised Rukia isn't number 1. Well, that's because, so admittedly, the list was made up of girls I was introduced to this year. Because otherwise, it was just girls that, like I said at the beginning with Komi, like if it was just girls that I had, then yeah, obviously Rukia would be up there, but also Rukia didn't get much screen time this year. So, and like Nami, boy, Nami's always great. So this isn't a best girl of all time thing. This is a best girl of 2022. Just some guy with a mustache. Will you ever watch Chainsaw Man? It's pretty good, but Attack on Titan and Bleach were way better. I have to admit, just some guy, I kind of wish Loves was here to talk me out of this, but I think people overhyped it. I think people overhyped Chainsaw Man too much for me, and I need to let it like calm down for a bit and like let the show finish and people aren't talking about it, because I think people overhyped it for me personally. So I and also like the tone of it. I saw the trailers for it and I'm like, this doesn't seem like a me show. It just doesn't. I'm not too into metal and I'm not too into like the style that it looks like. Mappa has an art style that I am very not into. And thankfully Wit got me into Attack on Titan before they got a hold of it, So yeah, I need to watch it at some point when people aren't talking about it. Chives, yes, Maureen is definitely best girl of the year. There's no question. There's no question. It's freaking, yeah. Chives, to be fair, Rukia didn't have that much screen. Exactly, yeah. Rukia didn't have much screen time. Okay. Folks, it's been a little bit over an hour. I wanted to wrap this up about like, I don't know, an hour to an hour and a half. So let me just give you another 10 minutes to hit whatever I can for you. If you watched live, I really appreciate you coming in live. If there's anything I will say before, well, no, I kind of already said. I guess I was going to bring up, like, you know, I didn't do any follow-up videos about Bleach wrapping up. And Simon, we're in like last 10 minutes of the stream, man, so feel free to bring up anything I haven't done content on or anything you would like to ask or see me talk about for a moment. We already did our anime of the year and our best waifus, so feel free to watch the replay for those. So I just want to take a moment with the chat to kind of close out here and wish everybody Happy New Year. I'm not leaving, just want to give you guys, like, bring in the questions. But, yeah, I didn't really do a video to wrap up Bleach, but I just want to say, like, I'm happy with it, man. I'm just happy that Bleach got the treatment that it got. And it's so cool to see just one of the OG Big Three get a break. Excuse me. They get a break. They ended part 1 in December, and it's going to resume in January. Or sorry, not January, July. They get a freaking break, and that's something that they've never done. It's so cool to see Bleach getting the My Hero Academia treatment. That's so freaking dope. And I was happy with it, man. I just thought like the pacing got a little bit too fast sometimes. I wish they kept some of the comedic elements in still. Like, honestly, I wish this part, like, it could have just used like 2 more episodes to like spread things out a little bit more. If it did that, I would have been like, dude, it was already amazing, but it would have been even more amazing, in my opinion. Let me put it this way. If you don't know, the way I watch anime is I watch half an episode at a time. If you didn't know, sometimes I watch whole episodes, like if I'm watching one before bed or if I watch one when I wake up, but I never binge. I usually watch half an episode when I eat. That's usually what goes down. I watch half an episode when I eat and another half the next time I eat, and so on and so forth. But there was no way I could do that with Bleach, because Bleach, it's like, dude, I can't stop this. Like, it just keeps going and going and going. So anyways, that's my thoughts on Bleach. Okay. Let's see. So last things from the chat. Let me get you guys' things in before we wrap up here. And I watched a little bit of Chainsaw Man for some reason, just stopped. IDK I just did. I'll probably pick it up again later. I would argue it didn't hook you then. I would argue it didn't hook you. I started, what's that other shonen that Mappa got? Oh, God. No. Freaking... Oh, I can't remember. God damn it. The shonen that Mappa got. I started it, and I thought it was good, but I just never continued it. I would argue it's because they didn't hook you. Just some guy with a mustache. Have you ever watched Classroom of Elite? If you haven't, recommend you watch it because I think it will be to your liking. I have heard about it a lot. I haven't watched it. I saw trailers and it didn't really pull me in, but it looked neat. I'll say it looked more neat than Chainsaw Man to me personally. Yeah. Hannah, but I will say Chainsaw Man is a fire OP. OPs are nice. That's a good question. What was OP of the year? OP of the year. I think that goes to Spy X Family Season 1 Part 2. Part 2 specifically. That OP, I don't judge an OP just by the song. I judge the OP by how well it's edited with the song and how well it's cut together. Yeah, that opening I could never skip. It was so good. I also like Yurusei Yatsura. I never skip the opening or the ED, but that's mostly because I think the song and the music the visuals just go so well together. Chives, definitely recommend you watch Blue Lock. It's so hype, and it was cool to see this air while the World Cup was going on. All right. I want to watch Blue Lock, Chives. Of anything you guys have mentioned so far that I haven't watched, Blue Lock is the top. Oh, sorry, no. Mob Psycho's the top. Mob Psycho's the top. Blue Lock is right behind it. I definitely want to watch Blue Lock, and it's in my watch later on Crunchyroll. Just some guy with mustache. Bleach, in my opinion, is not anime of the year, but it's the greatest anime comeback of all time, unless Dragon Ball gets the same treatment. Right. I'd argue that. I think you're right. I think Bleach had the biggest the best anime comeback of all time. I would agree with that. Steffi, did the first part of Bleach already hit all your favorite moments in the manga, or there's still you look forward to see the most in the second part? So, Steph, if you watch my thoughts video on the Kenpachi fight, that's all I'll say. If you watch my thoughts video on that question is answered. And also, if you watch my video of like my favorite moments of Bleach that I did before the anime came out, if you skip to the end of that, you'll see like without context, like I give like hints to what my favorite moments are. And yeah, both those videos, 4 out of 5 have happened. The moments I was looking forward to most in this arc, they were in like the first third of this arc, which I hope that doesn't discourage you and like, wait, so there's nothing else that hype that happens? No, there's cool shit, but it's like the kickoff to this arc was so crazy, and that's why like it just stuck with me more. There was such crazy stuff that happened in the beginning, and like everything going forward, it's like they already set the expectation, and I don't think, like, I don't know if it's a spoiler to say, they pretty much set the bar, and it's not going to be raised too much higher than that, other than some of the Quincy. There's some of the Quincy that do some crazy shit. And there's only one moment left, and the only context I'm going to give you is imagination. That's the only context I'm going to give you. Simon, Bleach got me back in the game of watching new stuff. I think My Hero Academia is what got me back in the game with that. There's a video about that too. I keep plugging in my videos. Never like Jujutsu Kaisen. That's what it is, Jose. Yes, that's what it was. Chives. Rumbling was an OP of the. Rumbling was a great OP, but I don't know if that was a great OP too. All right, later, Hannah, and I recommend you continue Maid War. Is really one of my. I can't, Joe. I can't, Jose. I'm sorry. Maid War. It's too ridiculous. It's too ridiculous for me to continue. I get that's what it's trying to do, but I can't. It's too crazy. Very much a believer of the 3-episode rule. Yay, Onyx! Since usually the first episode of any series depths literally the first chapter of manga, and some stories are slow burners than others. There would be a lot of shows I wouldn't follow up if it was based on one episode. Also, sup, Onyx. We're wrapping up, man. Yeah. And I would agree with that. The 3-episode rule is a very good one. And yeah, it's just also if something hooked you or not. Like, I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes of Cyberpunk, and it didn't hook me. And I came back to it many months later because I'm like, I think I'm finally in a place that I'm down to continue it, kind of a thing. So, yeah. If you're just joining, we're wrapping up the stream. I will try to put time codes that you could tune into what were my animes of the year that you are welcome to jump to, as well as my favorite waifus of the year. But yeah, I hope to get to Mob Psycho, and I hope to get to Blue Lock, and I hope to get to Chainsaw Man when absolutely no one is talking about it. That's what I'll get back to it, is if I just don't hear anybody talking about it. Which will probably be like a month or 2 after it's over. Did you watch Summertime Render? Somebody asked that earlier, Jose, and I said I haven't even heard of it. Steffi, oh yeah, I remember the Kenpachi vid. So curious what it'll be. Yeah, it involves Kenpachi. Yeah. Steffi, this is a nice chat before the end of the year. Happy New Year, everyone. Absolutely. And yes, Mob is fantastic, but it's got a weak first episode. And that's the thing. Like, it's season 3, so it's like, watch season 1, and Yeah, if you've already invested a season or two in a show, then I'm like, you might as well finish it. That's what I felt about Sons of Anarchy. I was like, I already watched 2 seasons of this. I might as well just keep going, even though I find it okay. And I don't regret it. I don't regret that. But anyways, folks, thank you very much for swinging by this stream of reflecting on anime this year. And yeah, I just wish you a happy new year and hope everything goes lovely for you. And this was one of the best years in anime, if not the best year of anime I could possibly think of. And yeah, Onyx, you have to watch the list, man. It's one of the favorites, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I appreciate you tuning into this channel. I know there's only a few of us left here, and if anybody watches the replay, just know this is the passive channel. I upload here every now and then, and I apologize that it's not like weekly or anything like that, where I'm just so passionate about video games. And I was telling you guys earlier, I literally only watch anime when I eat. You know, I'll watch like half an episode, then another half later, or maybe another episode when I go to bed or when I wake up. And then I spend like 2 to 4 hours a day playing video games. So that's much more of my passion right now. So that's why the main channel, Samurai Kibuji, is doing that. And then this channel is just my casual, which just like, I wish I got the name Casual Otaku, because that's what I am. I'm a casual otaku. I'm not a heavy anime person, but that's my main thing I like to watch if I do sit down and watch stuff. So appreciate you being patient with me and my very random uploading, but we will have more next year, and I hope to have some more fun with you. Don't forget, most importantly, as Kitagawa would say, be geek, be proud, be awesome. Bye, everyone.